trick. Vi ser.
Trapped.
Eller det här? Det här är jättekonstigt. Jag bara går in. Hejdå, jag går in. Yeah boy. Det är jättekonstigt, eller vad? Jag går ut. Såg du det där? Det är glitchigt. Det är Pokémon. Jag kommer från ingenstans.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I'm sure the funicular will be up and running in no time.
Vad pratar du om? Nikola?
We don't have any input whatsoever on how they decide to run the funicular, miss.
Nej. Wonder way. Jag försöker öppna det. Jag funkar inte. Nu funkar det. Wonder way. Jag springer, det blir inte. Det är så att du får inte springa, jag springer då.
No way I'm going back upstairs. No way I'm going back upstairs. No way I'm going back
Varför?
upstairs.
Ooh, a magic trick. Wow.
The funicular is out of service until further notice. Believe me, we are just as annoyed as you about the funicular. The funicular is out of service until further notice. Believe me, we are just as annoyed as you about the funicular.
Kolla.
The funicular is out of service until further notice.
Why not have a seat for a bit in the waiting room? It's just near the offices, right behind reception. Have you seen the ruins in the courtyard? The ramparts date to the Middle Ages, you know.
Nej.
Why not have a seat for a bit in the waiting room? It's just near the offices, right behind reception. Have you seen the ruins in the courtyard?
Nej.
The ramparts...
Do not worry.
Hello, Miss Walker. How very delightful to see you up and about. Even if I really have to admit that I'm a bit surprised. Our dear Dr. Olga painted a far darker picture of your current state of health.
Jag ska ta...
Come on, don't be so shy, miss. You can talk to me openly.
Jag kan inte skriva... Jag kan inte läsa engelska. Jag borde ta...
Perhaps you should go upstairs more often to check on the condition of your patients, Doctor. You would see for yourself what Olga and Dr. Mangling are putting them through.
Good Lord. What do you mean?
You need to understand that Olga isn't the virtuous doctor that you seem to think. That woman spends all her time looking for unbelievable problems in her patients and makes diagnoses that she justifies through bizarre tests with systematically skewed results. And that's not to mention the treatment she's putting poor Kirk through.
Listen to me, Miss Walker. I know that waking up after a prolonged period in a coma is difficult. In such a context, anxiety attacks are very normal. But please, do not project it onto Dr. Olga.
Niche.
I'm not getting any younger, you know, and running this clinic is a very heavy burden. The last few years, Olga has shown she is capable of assisting me. I have every faith in her.
I'm not having an anxiety attack, Doctor. When I asked Olga to let me leave, she drugged me.
I know. Olga has informed me of the incident. According to her, you were unfortunately very aggressive and disturbed, and she had to inject a tranquilizer. Dr. Mangoling spoke to me about your violent tendencies.
But...
The subject is closed, Miss Walker. But let me tell you that your insistence is misplaced. It corroborates, I'm afraid, the conclusions in your psychological assessment.
As you like, Doctor.
Please tell me about that pendant you have around your neck. I must admit I noticed it as soon as you walked in. Miss Walker, is everything all right?
Nicht.
It's a souvenir.
Of a good memory or a bad one?
Both at once, really.
Of course, just like with all memories, right? At any rate, what's currently important for you is to avoid being too haunted.
Dr. Zamiatine, I promised Kirk I'd go to the craftsman in Valsambor and bring back his mechanical prosthesis. The poor boy has been waiting for it for ages, so I'd like to try to speed up the process. Would you tell me how to get there?
Now there's a truly noble initiative, Miss Walker. I asked my clockmaker friend Simon Steiner to manufacture the young Yukol's mechanical prosthetic leg. He's a capable craftsman and ingenious. You'll find him in his workshop, near the Valsambor port. I imagine he must almost be finished with his work by now. He makes amazing things. You'll see.
Can you authorize my release so that I can see Dr. Steiner? Unfortunately, I've been told that the clinic is in lockdown.
You will have to ask Dr. Olga, Miss Walker. She signed the current order to lock our establishment down. She's in charge of giving out the passes. This book should answer any of the questions you may have about our Yukol's friends. Farewell and bon voyage, Miss Walker.
Why did the Yukols ask you to heal Kirk?
On each of their migrations, the Yukol shamans and I have exchanged medical knowledge. Their trance therapy and materia medica have provided astounding results for my patients affected by psychological afflictions. In exchange, I do what I can to take care of those injured that they can't heal using their traditional medicine. Like, that poor boy who lost his leg.
How many ostrich migrations have you seen?
This is the third one. I'm lucky to have seen so many. It's a rare spectacle. Believe me, the great herd of ostriches accompanied by the Yukols, doomed to blindly follow their animals wherever they happen to roam. And they don't care about countries, wars, and borders.
You seem to like the Yukols, Dr. Zamiatine.
They are a fascinating people, you know, and such astonishing medicine infused with shamanism. Without which, no doubt, you would have never arrived in this clinic alive, Miss Walker.
It's really necessary for me to ask Olga's permission to leave? You're the director of this clinic, after all.
Olga is my right-hand woman. I can't keep her uninvolved in current matters, Miss Walker. She is also currently your doctor. You should really talk with her about it. She isn't as evil as you seem to believe. You'll find her in her office, most probably.
I get the impression that the Yukols aren't much liked around here.
Indeed. It would seem that most of the inhabitants of Valsambor are now quite hostile towards them. This wasn't the case a while back, you know. When I was young, the migration of the snow ostriches was an event widely welcomed with open arms in Valsambor.
Why the change in attitude?
Our region was actually somewhat devastated 20 years ago. Dramatic events changed the way people viewed the world. The people turned inward on themselves. They are less welcoming. And the fact that the Yukols have been stuck here, next to Lake Valsambor for several weeks, hasn't helped.
It's really necessary for me to ask Olga's permission to leave? You're the director of this clinic, after all.
Olga is my right-hand woman. I can't keep her uninvolved in current matters, Miss Walker. She is also currently your doctor. You should really talk with her about it. She isn't as evil as you seem to believe. You'll find her in her office, most probably.
What the? On the way.
medical studies, alternative medicine manuals, great literature. Super collection.
Wonder way. Let's go eat. Wonder way. Jag bör kika ut. Låt oss kika. Är det det? Yeah, boy, we see my drink. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Go, Queen. Yeah.
Trapped.
Woman in a trap. Jag kan gå in där ändå. Kolla. Hjälper. Jag kan inte gå någonstans. Så gå in där.
No way I'm going back upstairs. No way I'm going back upstairs.
Thank you for all that information. I'll be going now.
Maybe you should head on back to your room and wait until they say the funicular is fixed and back in service?
No.
I'll think about it. Goodbye.
Wait a minute.
Pretty gloomy clinic. It could do with a bit of human warmth.
It used to be the fortress of the Dukes of Valsambor, the ancient rampart standing against
Oh,
invasions from the east.
good.
The inhabitants of Valsambor took refuge here and often escaped the besiegers through mysterious secret passages.
When did it become a clinic?
That was 20 years ago, thanks to Dr. Zamiatine.
I would like to leave this clinic. Would you mind telling me where the exit is, please?
Well, usually I'd have told you to go over to the other side of the courtyard to take the funicular that goes down to Valsambor. But it seems Dr. Efimova has shut off the entire clinic for security reasons. The funicular has been stopped until further orders.
I see. Thank you for all that information. I'll be going now.
Maybe you should head on back to your room and wait until they say the funicular is fixed and back in service?
I'll think about it. Goodbye.
What about going back to your room? If you like, I can go and ask Dr. Mangling to come get you.
No way I'm going back upstairs.
Okay.
What about going back to your room? If you like, I can go and ask Dr. Mangling to come get you. Dr. Olga Efimova doesn't really like patients hanging about in the corridors. What about going back to your room? If you like, I can go and ask Dr. Mangling to come get you.
Oh my god.
Trapped.
But it's completely crazy. They closed everything down, just like that.
Trapped.
But it's completely crazy. They closed everything down, just like that. So now how am I supposed to get back? But it's completely crazy. They closed everything down, just like that.
Okay, okay. Correct, okay. I said, my heart is so hard. What's going on? Let's just watch it. Allah. Let's get it. Men blir det 77? Är det hur du sitter inte? Jag kommer visa dig. Vänta lite. Jag tror jag vet. Men blir det 77? Jag tror det är min storebror. Ja, det är. Okej. Det är Mohammed, skriv hej, okej? Okej? Skriv hej. Mohammed, du. Skriv hej. Kolla Mohammed, titta. Är det här? Bra. Mohammed, titta. Jag kan ge så. Ser du hur konstigt det är? Jag trycker X, kolla.
Trapped.
Jag vet. Jag hittar bara. Jag hittar bara något. Pop. Eller vad? Super. Igen. Jag ska bara putta på honom. Så. Kom med, får jag inte ta socker? Va?
At this time of day, Dr. Zemiantine should be available. I'm sure you will find Dr. Zemiantine in his office. At this time of day, Dr. Zemiantine should be available.
Jag bryr mig inte. Hejdå. Musse!
Medical studies, alternative medicine manuals, great literature. Super collection.
You will find Dr. Olga hard at work in her office, Miss Walker. Olga is the only one who decides if a patient can leave our clinic, Miss Walker.
Ta. Bukan hati. Atrikordika kan inte engelska.
Medical studies, alternative medicine manuals, great literature. Super collection. Medical studies, alternative medicine manuals, great literature. Super collection.
Jag har faktiskt rätt. Tack för frågan. Jag har faktiskt rätt. Hej då. Tack så mycket att du tittade. Hej då. Oops, okej. Hej då, tack så mycket.